Hey, hello everyone. Once again, this is Jose Munoz. I'm a PhD candidate at Andrews University, and we are going to continue to study our study of the syntax of the book of Revelation. And today we're going to focus on chapter 5, and we are going to choose verse 5. So Revelation 5 5. And remember, we are using Daniel Wallace grammar and syntax as our foundation for our exegetical and syntax analysis. So you can have it handy. You can and follow along our study in translation and analysis. So we're gonna start with general translation. As I always said, we're gonna try to do it as literal as possible. And after that, we're gonna go into some syntax analysis and details and some theological insights from those details. All right, so let's go ahead and do this together. Revelation 5:5. So here we have kai eis ekton presbyteron legei moi. So here is the vision of the Lamb and the throne. In Revelation 5 is a very significant vision for the entire book of Revelation because it begins a whole new uh, uh, view of the book from this point on. So far, Revelation 1 to 3, the message to the seven churches, and then we have uh, before after that, Revelation 4, which is uh, the worship in heaven, and then Revelation 5. Most scholars understand and will treat Revelation 4 and 5 as very tight together, and one cannot be independently understood from the other. So this is we can say, a continuation of what took place in Revelation 4. Now here the main person, the main focus is the Lamb, and this is what John is seeing and narrating. So so the kai eis en ton presbyteron legei moi. So this, remember that, locate your subject, and then your main verb, and after that the direct object, the indirect object, and any prepositional phrases that you can see in the text that you can translate lastly. So that is the sequence that we are following, and if you follow that sequence, you're probably gonna do good in your translation, able to translate the Greek text. So so is this is it looks like a is a preposition, but it's not the preposition. Uh, this is the adjective one. So as an adjective, it has a case, a number, and also a gender. So the case is nominative. So this is going to be your subject. So N1, and then what follow is a prepositional phrase, ekton presbyteron, and one of the elders, and one of the elders, and one of the elders, and then after that legei moi, which is the verb lego, which is in the present tense, second person. And one of the presbyteros now is in the present tense, but this is uh, well, I'm gonna say a little bit more when we get to the syntax analysis, but this is probably better translated as a past tense, although it's a present tense. But I'll say more about that in the analysis. And one of the elders said to me, okay, so said to me. And the second clause, me klαι, and then so this is a negation, and then what follows after the negation is an imperative. So do not, do not. So it's negating, is not so emphatically, but is a significant negation here. It's not the strongest negation in Greek, but this negation is significant here. So do not cry. And then the next word is do. Any kησεν holeon hoen tes fules, or and then Iuda, Ayuda, He Risa David. And then it goes, behold, and then remember your subject, so it has to be, most, gotta be in the accusative. So you have now the accusative is going to be in the nominative, so you got your nominative here, and your article will, kind of blink and say, hey, nominative, nominative, nominative. So here is your nominative, and here that is your subject. So behold, that you want to jump and start translating your nominative or your subject. So, and the lion of the tribe of Judah overcame. So you translate behold, and then you look for the nominative, and then you keep translating, and then you go back to the main verb, which is enikesen. So behold, the lion from the tribe of Judah overcame. Okay, so let's go into the lion of the tribe. Yeah, the lion of the tribe of Judah. I think we should translate the whole thing until David. So, behold, the lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David overcame, because these two should be translated all together, part of this prepositional phrase that is dominating this clause here. So just to wrap it up one more time, behold, the lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, overcame. And then so once that clause is done, then we jump into anoisai, tobi blowing, biblion, kaitas, heta, esfragistas auto. So this is a infinitive. So to open the to open the scroll, the book. We're gonna talk about this a little bit more in the analysis, and to open the book, and then is his 7 seals. So let's do it from the beginning, like without stopping, so you can get a whole feeling for the translation. And one of the elders said to me, do not cry, behold, the lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, overcame to open the book and his seven seals. So that is pretty much the translation. And so we are going to jump into the syntax analysis now. All right, now let's focus on this phrase, me claye, do not cry. Now this is a negation, me, but this is not the strongest negation in Greek. There's a negation with the subjunctive, o, u, me, plus the subjunctive, which is the strongest negation in the Greek New Testament. So this is a strong negation, but it's not the strongest. But it's still significant because the presbyteros, one of the elders will come and tell John, do not. Is gonna give him an order. This is a mandate. Do not cry. And this can become very significant when it comes to exegetical analysis. Because here you find the elder giving a command to John about not crying, and in the imperative is a command. Now that there is the one of the significant, when we get out of the indicative, then we jump into the imperative, the subjunctive. Time is not as relevant as the time in the indicative. Here, what it becomes more significant is the aspect of the tense. In this case, the aspect of the present tense. So since this is a present imperative, so what kind of, we know that this is an imperative of command. This is a command. But when it comes to the tense, which is the present tense, if you want to go deeper into the exegetical, into the syntax analysis, you might want to ask yourself, okay, what is the significance of the tense in this particular imperative? Then you're gonna get to the issue of, okay, this is a present indicative, and then you're gonna have to ask yourself the question: what is the significant aspect of the present indicative, the present? Then you're gonna say that the main. I mean, you can start with the basic, which is okay. The main aspect of the present is that it points to an action that it is continuous. So continuous action in the present time. So with that being said, we can infer that what John is coming to, what the elder is telling John is that he needs to stop crying. But since we are taking a look at the present tense, and we know that the present tense communicates continuous action, then you can add into the translation, into your analysis, something that conveys continuous action in the present tense. You can say, do not continue to cry. So now you can infer from that translation, do not continue to cry, that John has been crying. So and then the elder comes and stop him and commands him not to continue to cry. So he comes and interrupts the cry of the cry of John. He must have something important that he's going to communicate to John. We'll see that later in the text. But for now, here it looks like the elder comes and interrupts John's crying, and John has been in this continuous action in the present. This is something that John that is that the crying was continuous in the present, and the elder comes and commands John not to continue to cry. So, this is can be significant, because I mean, this is a heavenly being who comes to John and commands John not to cry. Now he was in pain, he was suffering, he was not feeling too good because he couldn't find someone who was worthy to open the scroll, and he's crying for those reasons, and those reasons were valid and prompted John to cry. And many times in our lives we have legitimate reasons to cry, but somehow, don't be surprised that God might come into your life and then give you a command, stop crying. Most likely because he is going to bring something to you, and that will heal your cry. He'll heal my crying. So in this case, the elder is about to bring something to John that is going to stop the crying or his crying. So this is very significant. God can stop our crying by giving us something significant that will heal our hearts and our minds and give our minds clarity, like in the case of John here. So, all right, I think that will do it. Let's go into the next syntax. All right, now let's go and do the next syntax analysis. In this case, the word kησεν. Now, this is a very important word in this context. So this is an aorist tense, third person singular. So the lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, kησεν, overcame. It's a simple past. So the question that you need to start asking yourself as when you do a synthesis analysis, exegetical analysis, is you're gonna have to determine what kind of aorist is this aorist. Okay, so and then remember, you go to Wallace, then you go through the list of some of the most significant errors that Wallace explained in great details. So there are two significant errors that, as I see this word, might come into play. So the first category is the ingressive aorist, or now the other category is the consummative aorist. The ingressive puts the action or the enter into, into a state, but puts the emphasis if it is an action of the entrance into a state, it puts the emphasis at the beginning of the action or at the beginning of the entrance into that particular state. Now the other one is a consummative. The consummative puts the emphasis, according to Wallace, and the idea that these arrows bring the action or the entering into a state to a closure. Brings these arrows, the consummative arrows, bring the action to an end, a closure. So this is very significant because we are talking about here about the lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David, overcame. Now, if the lion from the tribe of Judah overcame, now there is obviously beginning, verse 6, 7, and of chapter 5 clearly let us know that the overcoming involves the death of Christ. And so Christ overcame in his death. And it's interesting if you take a look at the type of arrows. This is an arrow that is bringing an action to an end, a closure. So Christ overcame. Christ, the overcoming was completed. The overcoming was completed. The overcoming was brought to a completion. The overcoming was brought to an end. And you can get this idea from the syntax of any kησεν. So if you consider this to be an aorist, which is consummative. So yes, Christ overcame. The victory is complete. And this is very significant when it comes to theological discussions about atonement. Some scholars will argue that the atonement was partially completed on the cross, and some of them will add that it was not completed on the cross, but it was completed when Christ entered into the sanctuary in heaven and it presented himself as a living as a sacrifice, that the atonement was completed. And then others will say, absolutely, the atonement was completed on the cross, fully completed on the cross. Now, this particular word and the syntax of this particular word, if you take the arrows as a consumative, definitely it conveys an action that was brought to a completion, that was brought to an end. Sorry, and if you take this overcoming as Christ overcoming his death, then you easily conclude that Christ dead, and what it meant was completed on the cross, was completed in his death. So this can help the case in favor of arguing that atonement really was brought to a completion with the death of Christ. So very significant, very interesting. Let's go into the next one. All right, let's focus now on this infinitive. Let me get and this infinity. Anoisai. Now this is an eros infinitive, okay? And remember this infinity is connected to the verb kησεν here, overcame. So look at Wallace's choices for the infinitive and the different categories, and then you're gonna start kind of selecting which one you think better fits the context, and that is critical for you to determine which syntax category you're gonna use for your exegetical analysis. So we're not gonna go over all of them, but this anoisai is loaded with exegetical ideas and potentials, great exegesis. I will say that this can be taken as an infinity of purpose or as an infinity of results. So if you take it as an infinity of purpose, you're gonna have to say that the infinity is focusing more on the intent of John. If you chooses to determine that this infinity should be treated as an infinity of results, and then you're gonna have to say that John is focusing on the consequences of the overcoming. So is John focusing on the consequences of the overcoming, or is John focusing on the intent of the overcoming? Which one better fits the context? And that is a significant exegetical question that you need to ask yourself. So if I say that John, the infinitive is focusing on purpose and the intent, so I will say that Christ overcame with the intention, okay, to open the book and to and his 7 seals. So Christ that overcame, and that overcoming of Christ, when Christ overcame, he had the intention, the overcoming of Christ had the intention of opening the book and then his seals. Okay, so the books have not been opened yet at the time of any kησεν. So if it is purpose, and I'm taking this as John emphasizing the intent of the overcoming, then I'll probably gonna have to conclude that the opening had not yet taken place. So at the time of the overcoming, in this case, in the time of Christ's death. Okay, so that is if we take it as an infinity of purpose. Now, if I take it as an infinity of result, meaning that the overcoming is and the use the overcoming or any kησεν and the infinity anoisai are emphasizing the consequences of the overcoming. So is the opening of the book a consequence of the overcoming, or is the opening of the book a result of the overcoming? Is the opening of the book is the opening of the seven seals an intent of the overcoming, or are the opening of the seven seals the results of the overcoming? Now, if we take it as a result, if we take it as a purpose, the action may or may not have happened yet. So it is hard to choose. It is difficult to make a decision for one or the other. Maybe both of them uh, can fix the context here. Uh, I feel more inclined to take it as a result uh, that came because of the overcoming. Uh, the the opening of the book and the seal and the seals came as a result of the overcoming of Christ. Uh, Once again, that probably will be my present preference. It will fit the context, but the other one, purpose. I mean, Christ overcame with the purpose of to open the book and its seven seals. Also fix the context, so it's hard to choose. So I'll leave it up to you. Let's go to the next one.